Alright, so we are back with the next video review. Now this one is a little complicated and this one is interesting. So I was going to do something very different. I was going to also crawl the website in Sitebulb, which I'm still going to do. But we do have a slight problem. Let me just make that a little bit bigger. We do have a slight problem. There is some crazy stuff going on in this website. I've already crawled 4,000 URLs. I wanted to crawl the website in advance. I still have 35,000 URLs left to crawl. That means that ScreamingFrog has found those URLs, it just hasn't processed them yet. And something to keep in mind, I'm only crawling HTML pages. There's no images, alright, there's a few images. That's not external links, that's just primarily HTML pages on the website. And the reason for that, I have found this big, huge, whatever this is. I thought it was like a language translation thing for the website. I thought your website was in a lot of different languages. I've opened up a lot of these pages, and I don't really know what this is. I guess we can figure it out, this GlotPress thing. So we've got, just so many different pages, purely big empty pages like this open on the website. Now I haven't checked if they are indexable, i.e. are they currently indexed in Google. According to ScreamingFrog, they are indexable. So what that means is that they don't have no index on the pages, not only in the HTML, but ScreamingFrog also checks for the xrobots meta HTTP header, and it hasn't found that applied to the pages either. So in theory, as long as you are linking to them, where can we find? Let's take that. And I genuinely haven't done this before recording. I'm going to feel a bit stupid if nothing's there. Alright, so that number, I don't trust that number, just 104. But there is the review. That is all we need to cover. We have a lot of weird stuff that I don't think you want to open as search engines being indexed on this domain. Empty content, look at that, that's the value. There is no value in this page to anyone else. What is this? I do have to go and check this out for a second. I have never seen this, and looking at over 1,300 websites, we'll probably never see it again. So is this how you manage the translations for your plugin? Like, is this I feel like this is something for the staff of the website. By the way, the owner of the website did submit this for review. So I was planning to use Sitebulb. The problem is, Sitebulb's gonna last forever, and it doesn't really like you stopping a crawl. By the way, I am using a friend's license, meaning I did not pay for it. With that in mind, I'm not going to endorse, I'm not going to say, go download Sitebulb, it's incredible. I'll only recommend something when I pay for it myself. So until I pay for this, don't take it as like Glenn saying everyone go and get Sitebulb. I just wanted to do something a little bit different. And I also don't know the tool as well as ScreamingFrog, so I didn't want to go into it in too much detail. So let that finish off, and let's go back to the website. So the website, we started a bit different with this video review. The world's most advanced and scalable WordPress directory plugin. That is one hell of a headline. I cannot lie about when this video is being recorded. It is clearly Black Friday as we're going through the website. Very nice, clean design. Simple graphics there. Yeah, I was going to say, I kind of would have liked to see a directory. Maybe like the illustration style and then the real style kind of popping out at the sides. I thought that would have looked cool. Plug and play, drag and drop. Build and style your way. All right, loads of features. Where's the social proof? There it is. All right, so is something pulling these in? Because, yeah, do you really want to be linking to WordPress.org all the time? Maybe. But if you don't really get to control what's on those pages, so maybe not also. So copyright up to date, clean design. I think it could look slightly more modern, but it is really, really clean. Clear what you have to offer. Let's go find some content. That's what I want to see. By the way, the owner of this website did tell me the keywords they're trying to rank for. I won't say those out of respect, even though I don't think they want it to be private. But you can figure it out very easily just by looking at the title tag of the homepage. By the way, I'm really not a fan of this. It just looks a little bit lazy. This was your chance where, oh, is this company still updating? Is the software still around? Let me go check before I spend money on their offering. Category blog, is that really the headline for your blog? I would have kept that confidence from the homepage. The blog of the world's most advanced directory plugin, or something like that. Here's what the creators of the most advanced WordPress plugin think about day to day. Just something that kind of keeps that mission going, keeps that kind of confidence going, and not category blog. I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity. If you've watched any of my audits, you know what I'm going to say about this. Where's the social proof? It's so boring. Everyone says join our newsletter, get our updates, subscribe to our email list. Give me some personality. Give me something about your company, testimonials. How many people are on here? What's the great thing about your newsletter? I have a feeling the majority of the people who land on this website probably just, hey, want your plugin and they want it and they want to leave. They hope it's intuitive enough that they don't have to come back here and read your documentation. I may be wrong. You got a lot of comments on that first article. 4 here, 11 here. Rank math. I might be talking about them a bit more in the course very soon. Nice to see you covering them. The title tag is very short, but so is kind of the title tag for the headline for the article. So that just might be what you're actually trying to rank for. Missing meta description, totally up to you if you want to take care of that. A little bit weird, that's lowercase, but that is incredibly picky, I know. This doesn't look the best. The thing that might put people off is the fact that I'm buying something for WordPress, and I know your website is running on WordPress, and if you haven't taken care of the little details like this on your website, maybe you haven't taken care of the little details like that in your plugin. I am really stretching here. I accept that. I'm really stretching to make that point, but just something to think about. It's what crosses my mind. Who knows how many other people might be a little bit weird like me and think the same thing. Let's go check out the forums. All right, self-referencing canonicals. Actually, let's go check out an individual thread rather. So the spacing here is a little bit weird. I'm probably blocking ads or something. Is that right? No, I don't think so. So that's kind of weird padding. Feels a little bit excessive. Self-referencing canonicals, unique titles. Okay, so you're never really going to get to control these as much as, people dictate what's going on here. Forums, honestly, I could talk about forum SEO for hours. A lot of websites have forums attached to them, but there's just so many little nuances about internal linking, about how you handle profile pages, that I don't kind of want to take up too much of your time on that. By the way, so again, the owner of this website, hello owner, you're probably the first one to watch this, told me that they are trying to rank for a specific key phrase. They are pretty new to this program, so they might not see my philosophy on this, but a large part of what we focus on and what we do when people want to improve the rankings of a certain page is we improve everything else. We fix all of the thing content, all the dodgy redirects, 404s, like over optimization, that kind of thing. We tend to scale things back rather than kind of tweak one specific page. It might be focusing on internal linking and stuff like that. It's not necessarily about the page that you want to rank. So if you, the owner watching this, are wondering, hey, why are you not focusing on that one page and that one keyword I told you about? It's because of this. So that is the main reason. All right, so we have got, this is bad news. This is incredible news, because if you're not getting the search traffic you want, the fact that you have this in place, that it is indexable. Look, I don't trust the numbers in Google, but they seem to be smaller than what I would have expected. Like I said, ScreamingFrog doesn't just check for a no index, which you don't have, and then this plugin doesn't report, this extension doesn't report it either. They also check for the xrobots HTTP header. All right, that's more like it. So when I remove that subfolder, so it's a big issue. Should be happy you found that, or should be happy we found that together. Something I'd want to solve. So it looks bad, but it's a great opportunity. I would be very curious. So my hunch is to just be like, okay, get rid of these. You do not want these on your website. They offer little to no value. A lot of the pages are pretty much empty. I think this is just supposed to be there for your team. It is tempting to just get rid of them all at once, but who knows? You might be getting some search traffic to these. I'd be very curious. There might be 100 of these pages that pick up 10, 20, 30 visitors a month, and those people end up learning. I don't know, would anyone really read this and go and check out your plugin? Probably not, to be fair, but never let logic and thinking get in the way of data and facts and stats and proof. So you may as well check it. Don't just go and suddenly get rid of every one of these, but more than likely, I imagine your future processes are taking care of this pretty soon. So let's see what we got going on. A couple 404s, not a big deal. Not too bad. We do have quite a few internal redirects, but for the number of pages we've crawled 400,000 HTML pages. It's not a big deal at all. So just a few key pages linking to pages on your website which don't exist. The reason this doesn't exist is because it has a trailing slash. So in that case, you're linking without a trailing slash. What's the deal with this one? Docs to status, just a totally different URL inside a different subfolder. So what is this? Is this like the features? Oh, this is documentation for when people actually have the plugin. So the title tags are a bit messed up. You do have self-referencing canonicals. Definitely probably want to get your branding in there. look, you're probably going to reach your own customers. If someone Googles personalized geo directory, no one's outranking you for that. I'd be incredibly surprised if anyone is, but might want to clean that up. You never know. Might want to just put your branding in that title tag. Probably don't need to, add the branding in the actual heading. There's quite a bit of content on this page. That's good. Awesome. So I do have to admit, it's mostly about software companies. When I come across software companies, they generally kind of set the trends. They are generally the first to do big, bold things when it comes to designing websites and making them look great. It's not terrible. Like, you've got some really nice shadows, and I really like this orange bar here. Just some elements, I don't know. They do look a bit, maybe it's the font or something. It's very, like, just pause the video right here. It is so text heavy, this section of your website. Just something to think about. So that's actual demo of your plugin. How are you linking to this? I'm not going to tell you to no followed, but I have a feeling it will be no followed. No, it's not. Site-wide link to another website. Not a huge deal. Just wanted to check that. Let's just check out one more blog post. Oh, we have categories. Oh, you can't scroll, so that is static. Oh, that, okay. So what happens if you ever add one more category to this blog? Does the sidebar suddenly then become scrollable? Because right now it's the perfect height. This is nothing to do with SEO, I know. I'm just thinking from a design point of view. So we got the authors, we got the dates, we got the title tags, we don't have the meta descriptions. I don't think you're too concerned about how you handle things on the blog. Does seem like you're publishing some pretty short articles. What do we got going on here? What is the true length of this post here? 181 words. Look, I'm not someone who says, just go and add more content for the sake of adding more content, but something to keep in mind. Okay, so I didn't know we were quite a bit into the audit already. I'm kind of getting carried away. So I want to do so many things. I want to show off ScreamingFrog. I want to show off Sitebulb. I want to dive into the search results. I kind of cheated because I found the real big serious thing straight away. So that was kind of the gem of this whole audit, or at least I think it was. Let's just see if we see any. Yeah, multi-queries, that might be nice. Might be a little bit difficult. But let's see. What I would do, if I was your SEO, and of course I'm not pitching anything here. We don't have availability for anything, and that would just be weird. If I was your SEO, I would crawl the website again and exclude all of those folders, just so I could get a better look at what we are looking at. All right, so I'm going to get too many false positives here. Aha, so you have the pages as images issue. I thought that's what that was. So inside the training, and I know you are new to it, in the on-site SEO section, go look up the pages as images videos we have too. First of all is the multi-query Google search, which is exactly how I just found it there, and I teach you how to do that. And the second of all is there's a video on how to solve pages as images, and that will tell you what to do about this. As is pretty much always the case, if I can find one of these, I can find dozens. If I can find dozens, I can find hundreds. If I can find hundreds, probably can't find thousands. People don't tend to have that many images on their website. But again, huge section of this website devoted to thin content. I don't know your search traffic. I'm kind of tempted to check now. I have a feeling I'm not even logged in Ahrefs. Oh, I am. That's nice. Oh, so it's not going that great at all. I was thinking you were like dominating Google. Okay, so that's a great opportunity for you then. There is a great opportunity. Seeing these problems is always nice. It's like when you've tanked in search traffic and you can't find issues, it's a real concern because you're thinking, what do I do next? And the fact that you have so many things to improve is really, really nice. So what I'm going to do to wrap this up, if you don't mind, I'm talking with the owner here. If you don't mind, I just kind of want to play around and see what we see in ScreamingFrog, in Sitebulb, sorry, because I haven't actually done that in another video audit before. Just so people get to see what's going on with this tool, because I've still kind of been figuring it out for myself. I do have a friend license. I have never promoted it in the sense of, buy this, it's incredible. I do enjoy the tool. I do find different things, but it's a totally different setup to ScreamingFrog. It's just totally, you can see how I'm clicking around. It's not a left sidebar or anything. All right, broken internal URLs, a medium issue. URL contains uppercase characters, so you would click on that. You can see it's very different to how. Oh yeah, I did see this also in ScreamingFrog, how you have so many links to redirect links to login stuff. Okay, serious stuff. So we found a URL with only one followed internal URL. Sorry, 378. No outgoing links on a page. I don't view that as totally serious, but unless that means internal links as well, then it is serious. Has outgoing links with malformed href data. So that's the kind of thing, like ScreamingFrog is not going to point that out to you, but just a little kind of quirky thing about Sitebulb. It just finds interesting little errors like that. Like when you have Google Analytics code twice on a page by accident, Sitebulb will tell you that. When your SSL certificate is about to expire, Sitebulb will tell you that. You don't see that in ScreamingFrog. All right, so what was I looking at here? That's one of the problems. You never remember what you clicked on. Has only one followed internal linking URL. All right, so I cannot trust this data. And the reason I can't trust this data is not an insult to Sitebulb. I didn't crawl enough of the website. So if I keep crawling more pages, I may actually find links to these pages. So I can't really trust the data just yet. But if this is, if this is your website, you'd want to go and check that out. Are you really linking to important pages? They all have internal no follows or something like that. You're not actually linking to them with a followed link. URL turned into form. All right, that's just more of a security thing. Multiple. Aha, that's a new one. Won't see that in ScreamingFrog to my knowledge. Oh, it's a checkout page. It's not a huge deal. Let's just check this one out anyway. Is it in the source code of the page or? Aha, so another issue. All right, so this video is definitely going inside the training. We have a page that should really be giving a 404 status code, giving a 200 status code. It's essentially a soft 404. I think that's how Google would monitor this, just like redirecting normal 404s back to a homepage. I think Google Search Console would pick this up as a soft 404. But yes, that is not the status code you'd want to be giving back for this page. So I just let's do one more minute. I'm just kind of showing off Sitebulb now just to show people what's going on. There's so many little aspects to it. There's so many more things I can. Internal URL redirect broken. Okay. So you have a link that redirects to another and then that ends up on a 404 page or a server 500 page. Keep in mind, there are very few things to look at here because I haven't crawled a lot of the website. Okay, and we've got on page. What do they have going on here? Critical issue. Title tag is missing on 31 pages. Okay, what are they? Well, yeah, it's a bit of a false positive because that's kind of normal. Let's just skip here. I know there was more serious issues back on page as well. URLs with duplicate title tags, URLs with similar content. Let's see what URLs they picked up. Category, blog. Okay, not a huge issue. Let's go back. Yeah, the thing about Sitebulb, they have a back button. You won't find that in ScreamingFrog. URLs with duplicate titles. Yeah, I don't know where these would be. So where is the duplicate is basically what I'm trying to find. Yeah, I don't know this tool well enough just yet to be able to know exactly where those things are buried. I feel like I should see it here. So this is the URL I'm looking at. Okay, so here's the duplicate. I did find it. So the URL I was looking at is support topic Stripe add-on. The exact same title tag is on support forum Stripe add-on. So just being careful about forums and topics having the same titles. So I realize this became kind of a Sitebulb overview, but I think it's interesting. I want to learn it more. I want to be able to share it with you and the different things it can show you when you're doing a site audit. I have used it for quite a while, but I've used it 1% as much as I've used ScreamingFrog. So I certainly know that tool a lot better. But yeah, to the owner of the website, I really hope you got value from this. There are so many things to work on. Please do go through the on-site video training. There are so many things you can now focus on for this website. But I don't want you to don't go and suddenly get rid of all these sections. Don't go fix all of these redirects. Don't do a million things at once. You're not getting mind-blowing search traffic, but I'm sure it's targeted. I'm sure it's converting into customers. I don't want to mess that up on your journey to making the website better. So please do go through those videos. And I really hope you got value from this.